Hey guys, it is Amy, the relocated tourist, coming to you live once again from my office. It is Friday, February 21st, 2020, and it is a miserable, icky, yucky, rainy, dreary, windy. What other adjective can we think of? It is really bad, you guys. I'm talking like, if I'm not running and I'm running to the parks, I try to walk around the neighborhood with my husband just to stretch out the legs, lose weight, get the heart pumping, all the good stuff that walking brings. And I'm all geared up, he's all geared up. We like walk out the front door this morning. It was like, what is this? I mean, it was just like yesterday was beautiful and sunny and humid and whatever. And it's like Florida just flopped over on its other side and decided, oh no, we're going to give you the icky side of Florida. It's just gross. I feel for anybody in the parks today who are trying to I think of like pictures in front of the castle and Main Street and all that, and you're like, your hair's blowing one way, or it's kind of raining and then stops and kind of rains. And I wish it was even that kind of rain in Florida where it's like a little bit of drizzle or a downpour. It'll be done in 5 minutes. You can go do the rides whenever else. No, it's not. It's just icky out and gross. And yeah, most people, I apologize, like I can control the weather. If you're wondering what I'm looking at, my lanai door is right here, so I can see it, and it's just the palm trees are just going nuts, and it's just gross. So yeah, what is going on? So today I thought, actually, with all the doom and gloom of the weather here in Florida, I thought it'd be a perfect day to talk about what do you do at the parks when it is just junk. And I mean, it's not even rain, like I said, for 20 minutes. You can go do something else. Do you have a go-to? Do you have a plan? So I just thought I'd kind of go through each park and see, and kind of just talk about what I do when it's kind of either rain creeps up on me or weather, whatnot. First of all, it's always about preparation when I'm going to Disney. So I always either bring an umbrella with me, especially during the summer months, because that's when the sky just opens up out of nowhere. If you notice, a lot of my pictures, I either have a sweatshirt on or it's tied around my waist. That is because it can be 95 degrees outside, but then when you walk into a lot of the attractions, it's freezing. So I just can never get that right core temperature down. And so I wind up throwing it on, going to an attraction, taking it off while I'm outside, trying, and it gets hotter on my waist. It does, but especially if you're going to be one of those morning to night people, you're going to want it at night. It does get cooler in the evenings here. And like yesterday, perfect example, it was 85 degrees and humid outside. I was sweating at Epcot and at Springs. It is now barely touching 55 degrees, and it's what? It is 2 o'clock? I think 2 o'clock, 2 or 3 o'clock. So there you go. I think it's 3 o'clock. I think my laptop's off an hour. So yeah, with Magic Kingdom, with the weather, it's kind of hard. So if you didn't know, when you're at Magic Kingdom, they have this beautiful, adorable little thing, but it has to be like the certain kind of rain. It can't be lightning, it can't be windy. They have what's called the Rainy Day Parade. It is so adorable. If you've never seen it, I suggest go look on YouTube. I don't believe I have a video of it. Many people, I'm sure, do. And it's just a very small cast of people that come out, and they just have like all their little like rain gear on. It's just this cute little thing, and it's just kind of just a nod to, hey, we know that you can't see the regular parade, we're trying to give you something. So it's one of those kind of rare things you can catch at Magic Kingdom. Usually when it's a downpour or the weather's just horrible, I commit to either shopping or parking it in one of my favorite restaurants, and that's going to be it for a good hour, if not more. That also to say, though, that is how everything gets congested very quickly with bad weather. So if you're thinking, hey, I can go sit in my quiet spot, let's say at Seasons is one of my favorites. As you guys see, I post there all the time. When it gets bad weather, especially in Epcot, Seasons is kind of where everyone likes to go, because it has that mall feeling. You've got the food court in there, you've got the attractions in there, you have a show in there, you have a sit down, you have not only do you have the food court, but you also have a sit down restaurant in there. So that kind of has a little bit of everything. On top of, Soarin' and Living with the Land attractions, they have the new show in there now. So there's a lot to do in the land. So it is definitely a good go-to if you think the weather's going to be bad for more than an hour. So one time, our family, there's pictures somewhere on the Relocated Tourist on Facebook. We're in, I believe, Japan. And for some reason, Japan gets flooded the fastest of all the countries in World Showcase. And we're back there, and we had just either eaten at Tempen Ito, but we were up above in that area, in that large pagoda restaurant. There's two restaurants that sit up there, Tempen Ito, and I can't think of the other one, but they reside in there. We just got done eating. We came outside and we saw the entire area around Tempen Ito was flooded, all down below, and it's a higher restaurant up. So it never got into the store, but it was deep enough that, I mean, there's a picture of Kira where her feet are submerged. I mean, a good foot and a half of water. So that's something where the rain is so bad, you're not going anywhere. I think we sat on that porch area outside that restaurant for a good hour, if not more. When you're stuck, you're stuck. You really can't do much. That's when you got to make sure you bring your phone chargers, something to do for the kids. Just always have that ready to go, and have like a rainy day activity always in your bag. Don't give them something that they can do all the time in the lines, because they're just going to get bored with it. Have a rainy day activity. So that's kind of my go-to for Epcot. Magic Kingdom, definitely, I would say Emporium for shopping, because it's such a long store. It literally stretches the entire Main Street. Casey's for a hot dog, you could sit inside. They don't have the best seating inside and outside. They do have umbrellas over the tables, but they're not the best they're not conducive to keeping the water off you. I mean, they're just gonna still, drip on you. The Noodle Terrace, that is over if you go to Tomorrowland. So if you're going down Main Street and you hang a right, I used to sit in there quite a lot until they did the whole bottom area. They reserved seating now for the fireworks show, Happily Ever After. That used to be open to the public all during the day. It was the best seat in the house, because you could just sit and watch the castle, and I had my Casey's hot dog, and it was just amazing. Now the upper tier, if the restaurant isn't open in that back corner, it's still open for you to eat. So that is a nice covering back there. It's got the Tomorrowland music being pumped in there. So definitely go back there and enjoy out of the rain, out of the elements. It's covered enough that if you're getting wind, you're still kind of up and back in that corner, so you'd avoid it pretty much. Basically, your obvious stuff. You can hit the shows, you can hit Country Bear Jamboree, you can hit the Hall of Presidents, you can hit PhilharMagic. Let's see, the shows basically will eat up some time, not only the wait for them, then the show itself. But once you're done with the show, you're all those shows kind of pour out right into the elements. So you're kind of stuck there. I honestly would just find your favorite restaurant. You either go to Pinocchio's Village House. You guys know I love Columbia Harbor House, that just have good, nice fish and chips. And it's just a nice environment there. I just like the carpet and the tables. It just feels homey in there. It's a nice one to just kind of hunker down and just enjoy, for a while. Pecos Bills is another one. It's just not as comfortable and homey to me as Columbia Harbor House is, but at least you're getting out of the elements. Columbia Harbor House has doors and whatnot, so you're inside. So if you're looking like you're freezing, whatever, if you're looking for like Noodle Terrace and stuff, there's no doors or anything. You're just kind of out in the open, but you're under coverage. Epcot is a little rougher because of the countries. Some countries you can go inside stores and whatnot, but like I said, the only thing really for Epcot, and that's even open right now, because I call it Epcot Walcott right now because there's so many walls up. At Walcott, you can go over to the land like I suggested in the first place. Nemo, you can do the ride there. You can walk around and look at the fish and the manatees, the dolphins. You could spend probably a good hour in the land or in Living Seas if you really wanted to. You could spend some time in there. You can also sit in there. A lot of big groups will sit against the walls because they just don't know where to converse and put these big groups to just sit and chill for a little while. Imagination's not as easy. You walk in there and the first thing is the ride. And then as you leave, you can play in there. Like you've got Joy in there now to meet and greet. Wreck-It Ralph and Penelope are in there to meet and greet. And then you can do a little light shopping in there. The store is very small. It is great if you're a DVC owner because the lounge is upstairs in Imagination Pavilion. That is wonderful if for rainy days. You can go up there. They have free soda. They have free snacks. I have amazing friends who have blessed me to take me up there and enjoy that. So that is another wonderful thing to do because, when it's pouring, especially on that triangle building, I'm sure it's just awesome to hear and see and whatnot. So, Animal Kingdom is a little rougher because there's really not like those pavilion type things there. You've got your restaurants, you've got Satu'li is probably where you'd find me. You can actually probably, if you wanted to, really kill some time. But the problem is you spend half the line outside for a Flight of Passage. I was going to say River Navi is covered for most of it. There is an outside area, but most of the winding back and forth is under coverage. So that would be a good thing. Again, it's rain is one thing. Rain and wind is a whole other story. Then you're just looking for anything to get out of the elements. The restaurants, the Tree of Life, you could go watch Bugs Life show in there. That'll eat up a little bit of time, but the problem is the winding entrance there and the winding exit out is beautiful on a sunny day, but on a cruddy, rainy, icky day, you're just gonna get pelted and soaked. So, Everest, I don't even know if it runs during while it's raining. I know Lightning obviously don't run any of the rides that are outside, but I wouldn't think that's conducive to any of that. Finding Nemo and Lion King, so those are your two big shows there. That's a good thing to do during the rain. You can wait. Lion King is under coverage and Finding Nemo is not. So think about that. If you're just like running to, let's say it's 3 o'clock and it's like 2:50 and you think you can get to the show right away, you're fine. Then you'll be fine. But if it's 2:30 and it's starting to pour, you're probably waiting still a good 10 minutes before that line starts moving in there. So just consider that. Also consider too, when it's pouring and people are getting soaked and whatnot, I know it's a weird thing to think about, but like when you're eating or dining or whatever, even at seats at shows, look down at your seat. I don't know how many times, I know it's a weird thing to bring. I've had it in my backpack, which is a washcloth. Just, somebody, not the toilets, but anything else, just to kind of brush off whatever. People are, I remember Great America in Gurney Mills in Illinois. We had a big Christian group go. Our youth group went one year, and I mean, these were cloth seats. Why Great America would think this is a good idea? And they're big 3D, Ultra screen. I figured it's called mega screen, where you're in the movie. And we had just been on a water ride, my friend Jay and I, and we were soaked. I mean, I'm not talking like literally we just got out of a shower soaked, and we sat in these cloth seats. And all I kept thinking about was, what about the person that sits in this after me? Like, I feel so bad because it doesn't mean that they wanted to experience the water ride that day because of me. So just think about that when you're sitting down. It's just the days that it's pouring, just keep that in mind. Let's see. Obviously, you can pack your ponchos and whatnot. I know people will talk up those dollar store ponchos. Don't bother. I mean, unless you really are invested in them and you think, they're no big deal. They just fall apart. It's like pulling apart, Reynolds wrap. They're thin. They don't hold very well. And and if you're not feeling it, honestly, I think the ponchos are the worst thing, honestly, because they hold in the heat and you just feel sticky all day long. Again, just depends. If it's like today where it's just windy and cold, you're not going to get that sticky part of it. So, it's a balance. So Animal Kingdom is kind of a tricky one with the rain, just because a lot of stuff is outside because the Animal Kingdom, they want you to enjoy all the nature part of it. Studios is another one as well. They just don't have like a pavilion type thing. Like Galaxy's Edge is all outside except for the rides and the restaurants. The same thing goes for, let's see, Toy Story Mania. You're all outside there. Even their little lunchbox restaurant there, you sit outside. There's no indoor seating. Toy Story Mania wait lines a little bit are outside now, but most of them are indoors. So there you'll get a little bit of a head start in there. You won't get wet. The meet and greets, honestly, I think are the best part of a rainy day. Go meet some characters, honestly. So Studios has the Star Wars, the Star Trader Bay, whatever. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. It's over in the corner where the drawing used to be. In there now, they have Darth Vader and Chewbacca. They did have Kylo Ren. I think they switched Vader and Kylo Ren out. Those can be about 20-25 minutes, but it still kills some time. You're inside, you're dry. It's a nice carpeted area. You can look around, walk around. BB-8's in there to meet as well. They used to have Jawas running around in there, which are really cool. They have a lot of cute photo ops with blue milk in there and stuff. I'm going through puberty again. They also are connected to a Star Wars store, which is really cool with figures and a little more collectible stuff. If you're really into the Star Wars stuff, you can get your name tag with your name in, I can't think of right now of Star Wars language of Batu. So it's cool. It's a really neat thing, and it's kind of if you saw BB-8, you saw Darth Vader, if you saw Chewbacca, did all that in there, and then there's some actually props towards the back, or did even the show type thing that leads you to all of that. I'm usually going through the store, by the way, that's a tip. If you don't want to go through the show every single time on the left side, you can just go through the store on the right side and you can go in and look at everything. You don't have to go through the whole show experience to see the rest of it or meet the characters. But that would probably eat up a good hour if you're to meet everybody in there, if not an hour and a half. So there's a really good place to get out of the rain and the cold and ick. Let me think. And just the restaurants, again, you've got Backlit Express. You've got the restaurant over in Batu. That's indoors. I'm trying to think. There's that little like craft brewery over by Muppets. Oh, Muppets has got the Rizzle's Pizza place over there. That is huge. That's a lot of room in there. So if you're thinking like, oh, I need a place that we can just sit with the kids and the stroller, that they've got plenty of room over there. Yeah, Tower Terror, that I believe that actually runs during the rain. So that you would be fine. Rock and Roller's inside. So again, you can hit a ride where a queue is inside. You're golden. So I definitely would hit something like that or find characters. Otherwise, basically, the Star Wars building is your best bet because there's just a lot to do in there. You want to kind of find a multi-experience thing for everybody in the family so that you're not doing one thing for the little kids while it's raining and the older kids are bored or the adults are bored, or you know what I mean? Plus with that Star Wars launch bay, that's what it's called, launch bay in the back corner there are also restrooms on the left. And then you've got all that Playhouse Disney, whatever they call it now, Disney Juniors, all on that right side in that courtyard in there as well. So if the rain isn't too bad, they do meet outside. Characters normally will not meet outside if it's raining. They probably will bring them actually to launch bay. So keep that in mind, and ask a cast member if your favorite character is supposed to be outside and it's raining, are they gonna bring them into a store? They have done that. They usually bring them into an area where it's conducive to having a line of people. So otherwise, on rainy days, what our family used to do is basically just try to do the parks, and if it wasn't working, we would just head back over to the resort, and it was a good nap day. It was a good catch-up day. It was everybody, playing on their phones or reading or coloring when they were little, or playing with their Jessie doll or just doing something that was just, I don't know, it was kind of nice actually. I'm not gonna lie, because you get really kind of, you all know this with vacations at Disney, you just kind of get bogged down like, oh my gosh, like if I do one more thing, like I'm just exhausted. So it's good to have a rest day. And if you get a rain day, I would take it just as a blessing because it's just a chance to, and I understand with weather that most people just can't, they don't have the liberty of being like, oh, well, it's raining, I can't go to the parks. I paid for Tuesday, I have to go Tuesday. Totally understand. Then just make the best of it. That is really what you can do. If you're okay with throwing the poncho on, get your pictures. The minute it stops raining, that's when I encourage you to do everything that you can't normally get outside. The rides outside, the character pictures outside, whatever you can do that is in that moment, take advantage of that moment and then go right back to what else is inside. It does happen here, and we do have bad weather. People think that we just have sunshine all the time. That is why like 1,000 people a day move here. But we have our moments, and like today, again, 85 yesterday, and today it was like 45 to start today. I was hoping to go to the Bay Area Renaissance Festival tomorrow, but I am holding off. I might try Sunday or next weekend, and I'll tell you why. So the beginning temperature looks around about 52 degrees tomorrow morning, but the high is like 60 something. Now, even with all the layers on that I have, it still doesn't keep me warm enough, and I'm just really not invested in buying a cape or some type of, how Belle has a really adorable like red winter coat in her movie, like that would be awesome. But I use it all like once for tomorrow morning, and it's so hard because between 50 and 60s, it's not like really that cold yet, but it's not really comfortable warm, so you kind of need something. And my little white button down sweater is not gonna look good with my whole garb outfit. It just doesn't work. So unless I can figure out a warm type shawl or something that's going to be cheap or free, I'm gonna wait till it warms up a little bit. So maybe, I think it's supposed to be at least 70s or 60s on Sunday. So maybe I'll do my long run tomorrow and we'll do the Ren Fair on Sunday. I have a lot of weekends are now filling up. Yard sales start next month. I can't wait. I can't wait to not only vlog, I can't wait to show you guys, because one of my absolute favorite things is coming home and being like, family, look what I bought. It's probably more of a high I get off that than actually buying the items. So I'm super excited about that. And yes, I will be selling a lot of it. So definitely if you're into Disney stuff, and it's great because I just never know what I'm gonna find. I mean, one day it could be a Disney lithograph, and the next day it could be a Funko, and the next day it could be something from Epcot. You know, in the first year it was built, and it's just the crazy stuff you see here, because there's just so many people that worked at the parks and work at the parks that they just have the coolest cast member stuff. And yeah, it's a Disney dream. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this edition of what to do with the parks in the rain and what we do. I hope you, if you're here, I hope you're staying warm. I hope you're finding some joy in this cruddy day. I'm sure you're finding the magic and all you can do today without getting down the dumps, because I'm so sorry. It's so cruddy out. Hopefully I will catch you all tomorrow, whatever I'm doing. And yeah, have a great Friday. Bye.